Benavidez, he reacted to the WBC ordering the Canelo Alvarez versus Veer fight for the WBC vacant strap, or should I say, he reacted to Canelo Alvarez requesting the WBC to order the fight. David Benavidez, and he posted a picture of Billy Joe Saunders. He tweeted this. He said, I didn't see Canelo Alvarez wanting the WBC when Benavidez had it a week ago, the WBC cherry picker. And then David Benavidez, he posed a question. What fight would you rather watch? Canelo versus Avni or Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez? And that's not $1 million question. I'll tell you that. Obviously, Benavidez. I mean, I challenge anybody that's going to tell me Avni, a person that's coming off a loss, again, a person that fought against a guy with like 33 losses and 3 wins. So what's your take on what Benavidez have to say? Because obviously in the sport of boxing, it's known for the Mexican legacy of all the Mexican great wars, from the Barrera, Morales, Barrera, Marquez, and the list goes on. And Canelo Alvarez put a stop to it, because as soon as Canelo Alvarez came to the scene, he changed the game, because he said he don't want to fight Benavidez. When he got asked, do you want to fight Benavidez? He said, Benavidez is my own people. I don't want to fight my people. Even though Canelo fought Angulo, Canelo fought Lopez. So it's a huge contradiction. It's a huge lie. Matter of fact, Angulo, that fight was on pay-per-view, and he was Mexican. So what's your take on what Canelo said and what David Benavidez had to say?
Okay, this is it. And this is the end-all, be-all when it comes down to that. Canelo don't want that smoke. Benavidez, I'm a quote Floyd when I say this, is a hell of a fighter. Is a hell of a fighter, you know. And Canelo doesn't want any opposition that's going to take him out of his comfort zone. He is a straightforward fighter. He has no mobility, no agility. Boy's got hands. I'm not going to lie. The boy can throw them, but he cannot move out of his comfort zone. And that's how he was exploited by Laura Jacobs and by Floyd. And he knows that in his mind. He gets into a dog.
Oh, gee, what happened? Canelo is destroying the Mexican legacy with his own hand. You can't claim that you won't fight Mexicans, but you fought Lopez, a guy that fights at 140 that had to move up 2 divisions in order to fight Canelo Alvarez. He fought Angulo right after he lost to, I believe, Floyd Mayweather on pay-per-view. And that was considered as a good fight, and everybody claimed Canelo back. He back better than ever. He learned from that L, or that ass beating he took by Floyd. So all of a sudden, you know, Canelo fights these Mexican fighters when he knows stylistically is a great style matchup for him. But when stylistically the fight is competitive, or the guy he's going up against is good, then he don't want the fight, like the Benavidez fight. So essentially, you know, David Benavidez is really disappointed in Canelo because he respects Canelo. He called out Canelo respectfully. He did not disrespect Canelo. Let's make that clear. But Benavidez is starting to see what Akhi be preaching, which is, man, this man really don't have no cojones. This man really making Mexican boxing look bad, because he stays maneuvering, and he's still maneuvering to this day. I mean, what can you really say when it comes to Canelo Alvarez? His fans are starting to give up on him. They ran out of excuses. We got to brush off their excuses and wipe them off before talking about him, because their excuses are getting dusty. They're repeating the same talk point. That's why these decavs don't have the cojones to call him, because they know what time it is. You know what I mean? Whereas even Billy Joe Saunders pointed it out. Canelo didn't want no part of Benavidez. He didn't want no part of the WBC at 168. But as soon as Benavidez gets stripped of his title, he knocking on the door. He's trying to see who he's about to cherry pick for the WBC, right? The same thing happened back in 154. I told you all, Andrade was the champion. He called Canelo Alvarez the B word. He called him puta and all of that. He the one that's known for the phrase, Canelo, you don't have no cojones. I got that from Andrade. All credit goes to Andrade. I give credit where credit is due. That wasn't my words. That was Andrade words. I didn't even know what cojono meant till Andrade put me on it. So, I mean, Andrade did all of that, and Canelo was the no-show. As soon as Andrade vacated his strap, Canelo fought for the WBO strap instead. I kid you not. And if you don't believe me, like Deontay Wilder said, Google that shit. Since everybody believe in Google. Canelo Alvarez fought Smith for the WBO title as soon as Andre vacated the strap, but he won't fight Andre. And Canelo wasn't even a champion. But now Canelo, he's a champion at 168. However, he's fighting for a vacant strap. What sense does that make? Since when champions been fighting for vacant straps? Only if you're on the hope list. They did it with Canelo Alvarez and they did it with Lomachenko. They did it with Lomachenko. He was a two-time world champion and they gave him the fight with Luke Campbell to fight for the vacant strap at 135. How is a champion fighting for a vacant strap? That's the question that has to be raised. And for the WBC, trying to save face, they claim, well, listen, we did not order the fight. It was Canelo Alvarez who requested the fight. But why y'all acting like the prostitutes of Canelo? Why y'all have to listen to Canelo? If y'all wanted Canelo to fight for the strap, give him somebody worth it. Make Benavidez versus Canelo. David Benavidez said it. He said, I just lost my strap. I take full responsibility for it, but let me fight for my strap. So order Benavidez versus Canelo. That makes more sense. That's a better fight. That's a hell of a fight. But Canelo doesn't want that. He paid the WBC to order this fight. He paid the WBC to cherry pick for him. That's why the WBC is the witness protection belt for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, he could run, but he can't hide. We can still see you. So Canelo Alvarez, even if he fights Ivan, at the end of the day, or at least tonight, he's still going to have to fight his mandatory, which is David Benavidez. And he will still be exposed because he will duck David Benavidez then when he becomes his mandatory. And you can't request the French fries title. Matter of fact, that's probably what he will do. Who am I kidding? So you already know how Akhi comes. I come with the decaf's kryptonite, the truth. So that's why they're afraid to call in. But as soon as the live is over, they in the comment section making excuses. But these same guys will be watching me live, but won't call in. So
you don't know
for the people that don't know shit about boxing, you quit ducking and call in. That's all I got to say. Split Decision episode 50 is over with. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about it. And if you're trying to get dumb about it, second, don't and listen to these decasts. The dumb, casual ass fans that don't know shit about boxing. Word to Roger Mayweather. May he rest in peace. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified every time I post on Split Decision. Split Decision is a boxing debate / talk show mixed, master, engineered, produced by yours truly, Akhi, the past, present, and future pound for pound. When it comes to debating, I got these decaf shook. They scared to look when Akhi's on TV. Even my own Akhis could get it. Quit treating me, quit treating Akhi like the Iron Mike of debating, the most feared. All these decafs, as soon as the live is over, they in the comment section being keyboard warriors. And the whole time I was on live, all these decafs had no cojones. They were scared to call in. Akhi got him shook. They scared to look every time Akhi's on TV, but anybody can get it. Akhi record stand at what? Around 700 debates with 700 KOs. It ain't no split decision. Ain't nobody saved by the bell. Like I said, it's a straight KO. I won't let the decafs be the judge. I'm not gonna get robbed like Lara got robbed versus Canelo, like Morenez got robbed versus Rolly, like all these fighters that got robbed in the sport of boxing. I'm gonna get a KO every single time. I go straight for the KO on some Iron Mike. So with 700 KOs, a decaf ain't did a damn thing about it, but we already know what time it is. To H Money, T-Tone, and all the above. If I had a lower IQ, I could have enjoyed y'all debates, but I got a higher IQ. So if any of you decafs / YouTube trolls / old media, if any of you dream about putting an L on my record, you better wake up and apologize on Split Decision Live. My man OG Swag, he says 700 and RJ, My man said 4,000-0. You already know. I mean, I'm knocking out every single decaf like more than once. Every single decaf, I'm giving them all these rematches, knocking them out with every topic they got in mind. Professor Stevie Wonder, I done knocked him out on split decision till the man quit. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Like I said, you got to have credibility to be on my record. But I gave the decafs the opportunity to, since nobody got the cojones to debate Akhi, I come with facts because facts trump opinion. When the truth is spoken, the other side is nothing but a lie. Like I said, OG, you already know what time it is. With that being stated, I'm going to go ahead and take you all out.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.